So first, so yesterday I went well. I don't think I wanted to. I got a lot of good feedback on it. We're going to stay in a similar space, meaning that we're going to practice some of the stuff that we went over yesterday, and I'm going to ask for more volunteers who are willing to go and role play it out. Before we do that, I want to kind of give you guys a sneak peek because the thing that we're talking about right now in this 5-part sales call process is going to play right into what we're going to be doing with the blueprint over the next 4 trainings, which is you're going to need to call people to set up the meetings to have those blueprint conversations, meaning you're going to call, you're going to come in with your Walt Disney World levels of enthusiasm. You're going to find some common ground in your forward conversation. The reason for my call is the new blueprints are out. I want to come and deliver one to you and set up a time to meet. More common ground, close out the call, get it all done in 3 minutes, right? And so we're going to have that call. So I want to show you guys a very quick sneak peek at kind of the cover. Just going to show you the cover for what we're doing for our new blueprint so you can see it, kind of get in your head some of the things that you guys are going to be able to teach and go over. And what you guys are going to find, especially the guys who have been here, guys and girls who have been here a little while, is we're going to be teaching stuff you guys know how to teach. We're going to be teaching the power of forward conversations. Also plays into what we're doing right now. Teaching how to build flow systems for realtors and how our flow systems work. Princeton Mortgage Book of the Quarter. Morning routines. We're going to dive really hard into morning routines next week and doing that stuff and having some different pop-bys and things for customer collisions with realtors. And so you can see this is out. It's coming. I'm going to just real quick. You've seen the format. It's awesome. And so you guys will be out there ready to go with that. By the way, if you guys are not already highlighting your favorite realtors in the blueprint, remember, we're highlighting our favorite realtors in the blueprint. Realtors really love seeing their face in a really cool magazine that you're going to be giving out, and these are really evergreen. So it's a great value add for you to highlight local realtors. Also, then when you do your other realtor presentations, people will get jealous. They'll want to be in the blueprint. Good news. We're doing another one next quarter. You can get them in there for that as well. So get some ideas going there. So I want to just pull this back up so that you guys can see it. Of course, now it has disappeared. Where is there we go. All right. So our 5-step call process. You guys remember this from yesterday? Cool. Who would like to volunteer to role play this out? And I will be a very friendly realtor that you guys are going to call, and you're calling specifically to set up a meeting with me to come and deliver the blueprint. It's good practice. We're going to be doing these. Who wants to go?
I'll go.
Well, I need Melanie already went. We're gonna make somebody else who hasn't gone go.
If nobody else,
I'll do it, Mark. I'll do it.
I know Melanie's brave. So who just said they're gonna do it?
Tracy will, but she's not turning on her camera.
No, Tracy, you is turning on her camera. Come on.
No, I'm not, because I just got out of the shower.
Yes, I know.
Go, Tracy, bring it from Texas. Come on.
I never wear my makeup either.
I can
but
do
okay.
it. I'll do it for you if you just let me not have my camera on.
Fine. I mean, I'll do it this one time, but
there we go. I promise in the future I won't be jumping out. I actually have a lunch, so I'm running behind. So anyway, that's okay.
Wait, did you just promise in the future that you're going to turn your camera on? Because I'm pretty sure almost every meeting we've been in, you've just gotten out of the shower before our meeting. So
are you usually okay, Mark? Yes, I'll do it. 2020.
All right, I appreciate it. So I'm going to say hello, and then you're going to hop right into the call. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Hello.
Oh, hey, Mark. How are you? Happy New Year.
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Did you have a good New Year's?
I did. What did you do? Did you have some time with the family?
Yeah, I did. I had it. It was nice. I'm glad to be into 2024. So, but I just wanted to call you. You know, you're familiar with our blueprint magazines. We've done them together before. I just wanted to see if we could set up a time in the near future to go over Q1 blueprint magazine. Would that be something you'd be interested in doing with me soon?
Sure. When did you have in mind? I'm really busy over the next week or two.
Totally understand. You tell me and I'll make it happen.
Okay. So I'm going to stop you there. I really appreciate it. Who has feedback, good or bad, so far for Tracy on this call? What do you guys think?
I think that we learned that we offer him, 2 times? Say, oh, I'm free Tuesday at 11 or Thursday around 3. Do either one of those work?
Holy moly, Carissa, you're my favorite. You just led into my absolute favorite thing to teach, okay? Option selling, where both options work for me, is my favorite thing in the entire world, okay? So I'll give you an example. When I sold loans in the call center a billion years ago, I would say, great, your rate is this, your closing costs are this. All we need to do is get some information for the appraisal. I go through the appraisal and I say, cool, I'm going to have the appraiser come out to your house on Wednesday or Thursday of next week. Which day works better? Thursday. Is the morning or the afternoon better? Afternoon. Great. I can do 12 to 2 or 2 to 4. 2 to 4. Awesome. Do you want to use Visa or MasterCard for the payment? Boom. Every one of those is an option. All of those work for me. All of them advance the sale. Right? So, by the way, Chris, you jumped ahead to what I was most excited about talking about there. I was planning on, but you got to the spot. So yes, if you put the pressure on me to tell you when I'm available, the conversation is going to get awkward. Now, by the way, they will come up with something, right? Or some people will, right? But I'm busy for the next 2 weeks. Awesome, right? Listen, I really only, this is going to take only a half hour, and I promise, we'll sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and I can work around your schedule. Does Wednesday or Thursday of next week work for you? Right? And then by the way, great. And then it's, I can do it at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m., which works best. Right? Perfect. So you're locking them into that time. Okay. So I love using option selling in this process if we can do it. What other feedback do we have for Tracy?
I didn't feel like she had common ground. She met common ground. I don't know. The new year was good, but I thought like we were supposed to go in and try and find something. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. So tell me. So by the way, I thought you did I would say a decent job with that, but I do think there's opportunity to improve there. Right. So how would you have taken it to another level? Either Stacy or somebody else.
Perhaps if this was a realtor of mine, I would have looked a little bit past through their social media posts, see if something was on there that we had in common. I don't know. Maybe they posted a picture of their son or daughter home. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Personal.
I don't want to give too much because I want to see what some other people come up with. So either come from you guys or we'll keep role playing it because I think we're going to get into this conversation a bunch. Ken, what do you think?
I think that 3 minutes is actually longer than you think. And you don't have to rush. You definitely don't have to rush through that common ground piece. You had teed it up for her saying, what did you do? And I think she could have spent a few more minutes talking about what she did for the holidays and then, kind of would have maybe triggered something. Oh yeah, that sounds good. We've done that before, and her side of what she did for the new year might have sparked a little more of a conversation there. And I think there was time for it.
Yes. So cool. So we are in a relationship with this person if we're calling to this blueprint conversation, meaning that they at least know of us. We shouldn't, by the way, you should not be calling unless you're brand new to Princeton Mortgage, anybody to do this blueprint conversation that hasn't been through our 13 by 30s that you've had collisions with. This isn't like a cold call conversation. This is calling people that you already know. And so you already have a relationship with this person. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. When someone asks you a question like that, they're interested in what your answer is. Sharing information about you here helps people get to know you, right? And so it doesn't have to be super in depth. But by the way, if you have a cute story about the thing you did on New Year, it helps. I did this morning. I had a call for somebody that for, let's just call it a recruit that I was working with, and they asked me about New Year's, and I went into they're like, hey, what'd you do for New Year's? And they were like, oh, I kind of just sat home and didn't do a lot. We kept it really relaxed. I said, oh, I hear you on that. I said, I live in a neighborhood where I kind of get the best of both worlds. I don't really have to go anywhere, but there's always people doing stuff. So I went to my neighbor's house and we had a blast. That little story right there tells a little bit about me and shares a little bit more information. So I like that. Any other feedback?
I liked Tracy's. Sorry. Go ahead.
So this is my take on it, and so I'm looking for feedback on my thoughts.
Sure.
I am a fraidy cat, and so and I've been out of the dating world for a long time, and I don't want to be rejected. So I never ask people if they're interested. I'm like, I'm so excited. The new blueprint came out. When can we get together? And I just assume that they want to be with me and go out with me.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. First of all, and by the way, so what did Tracy say that was not assuming? So let's really drill into that.
She said that the new playbooks came out and she wanted to know if they were interested.
Cool. So your suggestion then, which by the way I agree, is to say, hey, I have the new blueprint. I have some free time next Wednesday or Thursday. Which day works better for you, right?
Yes, I just assume they want to go with me. I make it up in my mind to make myself more confident.
I think that's awesome. I agree. What else? Any other feedback?
My feedback is positive. Tracy, your voice, the way you connected with Mark, the lift and the tone to your voice, you sounded very friendly. I wanted to talk to you. Of course, I wanted to talk to you, but I mean, I really wanted to talk to you. I could have gotten into a really neat conversation with you about New Year's and would have said, absolutely, let's go do a blueprint meeting, because you just sounded so lovely. Just
I would agree.
so joyous and very positive. Her word choices could have been changed a little bit, but we're off the cuff here in front of our peers. But I still would have gone with you.
I appreciate that. Thanks, Molly.
I still would have met you, and I would say, hey, let's go. And I would have been really excited to sit down with you and be in your presence, because your energy just came through the call. And maybe that I can't see you. Maybe that helped to kind of entice me a little, that I want to see her.
Tracy, what you were going to respond? What were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, I think also, like, I was assuming that the customer was somebody I've had in the past. So I didn't feel like I had to spend too much chit chat time. And I mean, if it was a cold call, I probably would have spent a little bit more. I think in my mind, I was thinking it was my client that I've had. So that in my own defense, that's kind of what I'm going at. So, because they already used me. That's kind of the one I was going with. But if it was a different brand new client, I probably would have spent more time and acted like I cared about their 5-year-old. You know what I mean? But I was assuming it was one of my clients that I've already, that's why I said, anyway, in my defense, that was just kind of what I was thinking. But
you don't need a defense, by the way. This is really hard. This is hard stuff. And by the way, I appreciate you going through it. But I will say this. What you just described, I think, is one of my biggest problems as a salesperson. So, and let me share what I mean by that. Most of my life, my sales have been pretty transactional. When you shift to recruiting or coaching or different things that are sales, where you're going to get somebody and you're going to be working with that person over a long period of time, I've often made that same mistake. Once I already have a relationship with somebody, I start to take them for granted. Right? Brett and Dave will tell you that there's probably not a lot of pleasantries in the beginning of all of our conversations. I think I could do a much better job with that. And so one of the things I would say is like, hey, okay, just because I've worked with somebody before doesn't mean that we shouldn't actually, maybe it's even easier and it makes more sense to stop and take more of an interest in what they actually did over the holidays, because of that comfortability, and want to make that person continuously feel special, right? We often hear people say like, hey, the people in the happiest marriages are the ones that act like they're still dating and ask their spouses out and treat them like they're still in the courting process. I think we should probably think of it that way for our referral partners here as well. But Tracy, I thought you did a good job. I thought you had good energy. I think this is all really hard. I think it's certainly hard to go first. So now that we've covered a bunch of ground, it's gonna be very easy for whoever we do next. Who else wants to go? Be brave. If you're afraid to do it with me here, you're going to be afraid to do it on the phone. Once you've done it with me here, it'll be easy to do it on the phone.
I'll do it if no one else will.
I love your enthusiasm for it, Kristen, but I do appreciate it. All right, Kristen, where's your camera? Where are you?
Here's my camera. I'm getting ready to head out.
Good. You look great. Let's do it. You ready? All right.
Bring.
Hello, this is Mark.
Hey, Mark, it's Carissa. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How many days do we get to say that? What day is it? I guess you're still in the first week. We're good to go. Happy 2024.
I know. I'm excited about it.
Me too.
I am excited. Hey, so our new playbooks came out, and I know you loved our last one, so I wanted to go ahead and schedule a meeting with you.
Okay.
All right, perfect. So next week, we have Taco Tuesday. I'm free around 11, or Thursday afternoon. We could do some coffees.
Let me check my schedule. I guess Thursday would be better if you can do it after 3:30.
Yeah, definitely. And
Awesome.
What part of town will you be in?
Downtown by the courthouse.
Yeah, definitely. Let's hit Red Cap. And I can just meet you over there. That way it's convenient.
Awesome. So what time did you want to do that at?
3:30. And I'll go ahead and shoot you a calendar invite. That way, because I have to put everything on my calendar.
Cool. And this is a different blueprint than the last one?
Yeah, we put new ones out every quarter. It's super beneficial to your business. And I know that you were business planning last week and are really implementing that. So I'm super excited to get it to you.
Awesome. All right, cool. Well, I penciled it in, but send me that calendar, and I guess I will see you next Thursday.
Perfect. I'll see you then.
All right. Thanks, Carissa.
Bye.
Cool. What do you guys think? First of all, are we hitting our 5-step call process?
No.
Why not? What did we miss, Krista, since you decided to give yourself feedback?
No, I didn't. I didn't find any relatable points. I didn't do any Ford. I just did business planning, which I guess could be occupation, but I was
First
just
of all,
too perky and
yeah.
trying to get my books.
So, dude, I think it's hard, right? You get that adrenaline rush, especially when you're doing it in front of this group. You want to get going, you push it through. But yeah, I think we want to spend more time on the relationship building. One thing that I would be doing, and by the way, it's risky, so I'm not saying that you should do it, but for me, because I so believe in what we taught in the last blueprint, and we're just started the new year, I would either ask about, hey, I hope you're rocking your plan for your 2024 goals, or something along the lines of like following up on the last one, like, or how are you doing? I know, yes, we did that business planning together. How are you still feeling good about the goals you set for 2024, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's an easy thing to go back to in terms of our forward conversation. What other thoughts or feedback do we have for Carissa?
I think that you were talking real fast, and so I met your energy, and that really took me off of my planned conversation.
Are you suggesting that most of the realtors in Birmingham, Alabama don't talk the way that I do? I'm joking. Of course that's true. 100%. Okay. So
Can I laugh
Hey,
out
Mark.
loud on here?
Brett, what were you
Honey,
gonna add?
we're in the deep south. Nobody talks as fast as you, darling.
I know, it's a gift. Brett, what you got for me?
Hey man, this is great stuff. I would just add that, well, what Carissa did well, and you brought it up before, is the option selling that always benefits you, no matter what the person, the realtor, the buyer chooses. You always want it to kind of benefit you. One of the things I wanted to add to the repertoire is that whether you use the fact that they got the first blueprint, or they didn't, the idea that you're meeting with them because you may want to interview them for our next blueprint. Keep in mind that we take, as part of these blueprints, advice or quotes from realtors. So one of the things that you could do if you're struggling to get that appointment, or you want to entice that realtor, is to offer to interview them so that they can be represented in a future blueprint down the road as well. I just thought that might be a good thing to add into the repertoire, Mark.
Yeah, it depends on how many of these calls you're having and how many realtors you're going to make that offer to. But sure, if you mean it, you should say it. I'll also share this, guys. We need to be more excited about the blueprint itself. And so here's what I would say, right? Like I'm going to keep working through this, and we're going to keep practicing. We're going to get better as we go through it. But one of the things is like, hey, I know that we went through the blueprint last quarter, and like I thought there was some really good stuff in there, but I'm so excited about some of the things that we've coming out this quarter. First, we have this March Madness thing that we're doing. I can't wait to show you. But even more important, I'm going to go over with you some of the habits and routines of the morning habits of the top realtors. I'd love to go over with you. I can't wait to go over with you which day works better for you next week, Wednesday or Thursday. Right. And so find a way to find a thing in there that you're genuinely excited about. So instead of like, hey, it's a new quarter, got to check off my boxes, I'm bringing these blueprints around. It's like, I'm fired up to deliver this blueprint, and here's a reason why. I might even think about, hey, if I go back to those topics. Sorry. Hey, which one is it? Forward conversations? Is it the morning routine? Is it flow systems? Which one of these things am I most excited about for this particular referral partner, right? This particular referral partner doesn't do anything with flow, doesn't have any process and procedures. I just went over database and CRM with this person. They built their database last quarter. The best thing we can add on to it is add in some automated flow process for their CRM. What are the other things that we can go to? So tailor your message for the specific person that you're doing it with. Make it seem like you're not just calling everybody today, but you're excited to actually do this with them. Awesome, guys. Who else would like to go? Are you talking to us?
I'll go.
Hey, Carissa,
Well,
the other thing that you did really well, we talked about it yesterday, was your tone, right? Like it was inviting, it was uplifting, right? You had energy in your tone. And team, I get like this stuff is awkward, right? And by the way, like every real estate agent's different. So there's not one fits all, not one fits all, and there's going to be variances, but your tone was uplifting, right? You were excited. You didn't bring me down. You lifted me up. So that was really cool. Hey, Mark, can I volunteer someone?
Sure. We lost
You
your,
can
we
try.
lost,
You can
You're
try
down there
not
for
to
a
make
second.
eye contact with me, Aaron. You can look away, but I pick Aaron over in Texas.
Aaron, are you ready for this? We haven't even met yet.
Come on, man. Take it
You're
off
muted.
mute.
You're muted, buddy. I can't hear you.
I don't know. I'm not quite sure.
Aaron,
Come
you
on,
got
man.
this. You got this,
You
buddy.
got it. You got it.
I'm sending
I
you all the
know.
love.
Hey, by the way, guys, Aaron's presenting on Monday to a group of anywhere between 25 to 100 agents next Monday. So what a great opportunity, right? To be able to follow up with everybody you're presenting, Aaron, and set appointments for the next two. You should be able to set 5 of these a day for each day for the next 2 weeks. That's why, honestly, I picked on you.
I hope so.
All right, let's go.
You ready?
All right.
right.
Okay, maybe.
Hello, this is Mark.
Hey, Mark, Happy New Year. It's Aaron. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Aaron. How are you?
Good, good, good. Thanks. The reason I was calling, I just wanted to see if maybe you had some time to go over our Blueprint magazine this week. I'd really like to get together with you and just kind of catch up and see what your plans on for Q1.
Sure. So wait, what are you delivering?
Our Blueprint magazine, it's something that Princeton kind of puts out every quarter and just kind of gives tips and tricks on how to improve your business.
Okay. And when do you want to meet up?
Actually, first of the week is kind of busy, so how about midweek or end of the week if that works for you?
Like, what were you thinking? I mean, I got some time, like, can you do it Friday?
How about Friday lunch?
Are you buying?
Yes, sir.
Well, if you're buying, I'm eating. So, what time works best, and where do you want to
All
meet?
right, how about 12:30?
And where are we going?
We are going to the taco truck around my office.
What is it?
We're going to the taco truck around my office.
Oh, I'm a cheap date now, huh? No, I'm just kidding, Aaron.
Tacos,
That's awesome. I
tacos
love
and beer.
tacos.
That's the best kind of lunch.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it, Aaron. I'm looking forward to it. I hope the tacos are awesome.
All right, sounds good. See you then.
Thanks. Feedback for Aaron.
I love Aaron. Aaron is my friend, and we have had beautiful communications, and we're both yogis, and so we've enjoyed a lot of nice conversation. I
Melanie,
love
you're
you.
so nice. What did you think about his phone call?
I love the tone of his voice. He is so peaceful. Immediately, it felt very calm hearing his voice. It made me, and he's a softer speaker. He's not a loud person. So that sometimes gets your attention because you kind of go, hey, this is kind of special. This person's, taking their time to craft their words and think about what they're saying.
Anything you think he could have done better?
I think that he could have expanded in the common ground areas, but I could see that he was nervous a little bit. This is a thing right here in front of
do not
everybody.
apologize for people in your feedback. You just give it, just deliver it straightforward.
Aaron, I think you could have expanded more in your common ground. I think you could have, like Ken suggested in the beginning, and I think that was great feedback from Ken about this type of call, is 3 minutes is longer than you think 3 minutes is. And so we need to expand with the connecting conversation. A lot of times in sales, we want to get to the selling point, but we really need to expand that human element.
So, Aaron, how familiar are you with the blueprints, being that you've worked here for a short time?
I haven't really read them, to be honest with you.
I know, I could tell when you were talking about it. So what an opportunity then for you then to make sure that you spend extra time focusing on the human part of it, right? So first of all, if you're making these calls, well, you'll have time to prepare for the blueprint. That's great. But what I would like you guys to start thinking about too is, okay, what do I bring to the table for this conversation, and where can I feel confident? You get to make up in this conversation whatever relationship we have. And so you can say, how about your wife? How about your kids? How about this person, that person, anything? New Year's, Christmas, what'd you get? What'd your wife get? How's Tracy? Whatever you want to do. You could have done any of that to dig into that and then shift it to the blueprint. but you rushed through that part of it. I felt like, and got there, right? So, we want to, and while I would say that you sound pleasant, you also didn't sound enthusiastic about even the fact that we were going to have this meeting, right? And so, like, I'm really looking forward to getting together and sharing this information for you. What day works better, Wednesday or Thursday, right? And be specific in your option close. Make it easy for me. If you only, there's real research on this. If I say to somebody, hey, can you think of anyone I might be able to do a loan for, or that might be looking for a new house, people will not have an answer for you. But if I say to you, hey, you play softball, right? Is there anyone on your team, maybe who plays outfield, that might be in the market for a home over the next couple of years? They will absolutely give you a name. And so the smaller option size that we can give to somebody in terms of their choices, the easier we make it for them and the more they can lock in. People know hundreds of people, but if you say, do you know anyone looking to buy a house? They're not going to be able to think of anyone. But if you say, hey, somebody who sits within 5 feet of you at work or 20 feet of you at work, or any of those people looking to buy a home, they will think of somebody, right? And so we want to make it easy for people to drill into those options. Who else has feedback for Aaron, real quick, before we go?
Mark, I was just going to say, you brought it up, but I have 3 pieces of feedback for Aaron. The first is just do yourself a favor and read the blueprint a couple times, become a little bit more familiar with it. You were a little bit nervous, but that's okay, man. You were put on the spot, but just practice it. Call a friend up and you call me up if you want, and just practice the role play, and you'll become less nervous. The other thing is that when you ask someone a question, give them a chance to answer it. You were asking Mark to set up a date, and then all of a sudden you said, well, the first part of the week's no good, so how about the end of the week? Give them a chance to do a little bit more talking, and the opportunities that they can talk more than you. But good job, buddy, and good luck. Thank you.
Farzaneh, did you have something?
Yes, sir. It's just general thoughts for the whole group. First of all, if you would make it more challenging for all of us with some rejections, I think we all would get better practices out of this. And then for everyone else, so the person we're contacting, either we know them from before and we've already done blueprints with them, or we haven't and they're new contact. If they're the old one, I would give them a chance to tell me about how they did with the previous one. I would ask, hey, tell me, did you enjoy working with the blueprint last quarter? How did it do for you? What part of it you liked better? Which part do you think you want to focus on more this quarter? How can I help you? And let them tell you. We all have heard this, that if you let people talk, they will tell you how to sell them. So give them the opportunity to do that for you, and then take it from there. Maybe they didn't like the blueprint at all. Maybe they didn't work it at all. Maybe they don't want to spend time on it again. So that's for the people we already have a relationship. With the new people, I think personally, I would ask them how they do their goal planning and how they did last year. Are they happy? Is there anything that they think would be helpful to them for this year? And then I say, hey, I have this tool. Would you give me some time to show it to you and see if it helps you?
Are you volunteering to go and show us all how it's done right now?
I just did it, sir.
That was it? Well,
That was it.
I'll let you off the hook there for a second, but if you want to volunteer later, well, maybe we can do it and I'll be a little more difficult with you. Who else?
I'm still dealing with my flu that I had over the whole break before Christmas. That's why my voice is kind of choppy. I'm trying to get more air in.
We're warriors here. We're gonna make realtor calls later. We gotta fight through. No, I
Yes.
get it. No problem.
Yeah.
Who anybody else want to go and give it a run? Anyone else think they can crush it?
Yeah, so I was not thinking I could crush it. I was trying to give advice, but I'll go and see if I've got something right. And if there's something wrong, let's critique it, because everybody can get help, right?
Are you gonna be more enthusiastic than you were just now while you were volunteering?
Oh, 100%.
Because that was you sounded a little bit like Eeyore right there, and I got nervous. I want some Walt Disney World levels of enthusiasm. You got this?
Are you ready for that? Like, you want me to overload this thing?
I want you to crush this thing. Well, I want to see Will at his absolute best. And I've seen you. I know what's in there, man. So let's do it. You ready?
Sure, I'm just good at hiding it. I can turn the switch on. So if you're ready, you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Hello?
All right. Okay. Really annoying, notorious B.I.G. ringtone. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello, this is Mark.
Hey, Mark, this is Will Manley of Princeton Mortgage. Happy New Year to you, brother. How are you?
Happy New Year, man. How are you?
I'm well. Look, it's not really important that I'm well. What's important is, did your family have a great Christmas? Did your kids enjoy things if you have kids? How was that?
We did, ups and downs. I think we still have half the gifts they haven't even opened yet or played with, but the one or two things that they're excited about, they're excited. We made this mistake of giving my middle daughter a hoverboard, and she's basically destroyed all the trim in my living room at this point, but she is certainly having a blast with it.
Man, that sounds incredible. I've been having a lot of really good conversations throughout the day, and I won't take much of your time because I really value how successful you are and how many minutes and such you have in a day are not plentiful like mine. So, one, how many trash bags did you have during Christmas? And two, I want to throw both of them at you, Mark. Can you stick with me?
Yes, I think I can handle it.
All right, cool. Number one, how many trash bags, right? Tons of them. I'm doing a survey with all the people I call today. I want to know that. And number two, if I told you that I wanted to add value to every referral partner in my network this year by getting together and going over a networking and business strategy that helps you plan and map out to hit your goals by the end of the year, could I borrow maybe a 30-minute meeting from you to go over it? Because I'd love for you to be in this with me. It's huge.
So first things first, not only did I put all the trash outside, and then as soon as they came and picked it up, I brought the trash cans back in, and then I didn't bring them all the way into the garage like where I usually put them. I just kind of brought them in. I was in the middle of doing something. I went out for a half hour. I came back, and when I came back, the entire garbage can was filled with stuff that my wife must have been hiding in a different room. And when I dragged it all over, so now our garbage can, even though it's been emptied, is still full now with the extra garbage from Christmas. So I don't know how many bags it was, but it was too many. The other part of it is like, yeah, man, I don't know if you're going to borrow this time because I don't know how you're going to give it back to me, but I'm definitely always down to learn from someone like you and explore some new strategies for next year. Can't have too much of that for sure.
Mark, I'm really glad you said what you said about not knowing how I can give you that time back. Well, I can't. But what I can do is add value to your business in exchange for it. But for now, it's borrowing until I prove that I can do that for you. Does that sound like a good plan for 24? Can we at least get a meeting and see how we function together?
When are we going to do it, man?
Brother, next week, you free Wednesday?
Sure. After 2:00.
After 2:00. Okay. Time frame for you is 30 minutes. Good. I know I can go over it in 30 minutes, but if you feel like this is impactful, we can expand and tell you how I'd like to incorporate a nonprofit piece of this, that if your heart's in the right place, we can do some really awesome things together.
I have no idea, to be honest with you, how long any of this is going to take, but I got nothing else going on after 3. So if you want to meet at 3, we'll see what happens.
Cool. 3 it is. We'll see where it goes from there. I'll follow up with you to check in same day, make sure you're good. But man, I really appreciate you taking my call, and it feels awesome that you had a wonderful Christmas.
Awesome. Thank you for volunteering. Feedback for Will.
Yes, sir. I stuttered. I know that.
I thought it was great. The only thing y'all forgot to do was say where you were going to meet.
That's
Fair
where
enough.
the text the day before comes into play, but thank you.
No,
But I really liked his tone. Really.
what else? What else could Will do? I have
It was
lots
a-
of feedback.
It was a warm call. I like that.
Okay.
Seemed like you two had a relationship before this call and you work well together.
What else?
Okay, just because I know Will, I think that was like super duper authentic. Like that is Will to a T, like the way he talks, the way he communicates, the kind of people his vibe attracts his tribe. So I liked how authentic it was to you.
How many times,
Thank
Will,
you.
in your head, when you were imagining that, how well do we know each other?
I mean, we're probably surface level. I mean, here at Princeton for sure, but we've had deeper conversations when you're
No,
in town.
not
like,
you and me. I mean, you and the realtor. In the
and the realtor,
same-
we we maybe have ever closed a deal once or never. It doesn't matter. If I can figure out your demeanor when you pick up the phone, that determines my energy right there. And it's just from my studies. I mean, you could have answered the phone a different way and it could have gone down a different path.
My point is, I wanted to set the ground that you were not talking to me or treating me like we were already best friends or we'd known each other a long time. Is that correct? In your head, we were,
Yeah,
we knew each other, but we didn't know each other, right?
I wanted to know you. That was the part of it.
I guess my point is, if we really knew each other, do you think you would have handled that exactly the same way?
Probably a little bit more personalized if I knew you just a little bit better. Like if I already knew how many kids you have, or if I potentially even knew their names, or you've posted the name of your dog, I would have done my background research to know all of those things ahead of time calling you. But if there is no connection or no background research there, but you're just somebody I want to start with, it would go that way. And I know, I understand. I love this feedback. This is fantastic. But I've just learned in sales over the years and all the opportunities I've had to be an asset or a resource for somebody is that there's no two conversations that sound the same. And over the years, I've just been told and blessed to have kind of, and it's not perfectly accurate, never is, but I really kind of have a chameleon ear and my voice projects what I think needs to come out. And it's not always right. It's not. But most of the times it is, or it wins, or we find how we communicate best, and it's just a learning curve. But at the end of it is to leave every conversation as positive as possible. It's just gone well.
What other feedback do we have for Will?
I don't
Hey,
know if I missed a part or not, Mark. I think I heard it right, but I apologize if I didn't. I think at one point you agreed to the meeting, and Will kept on selling.
Yes.
Once
that happened.
somebody
Did I?
agrees, stop. Right? Once somebody don't oversell. Once somebody agrees. Remember, most of these phone calls you're going to make are an agent that you've already had some sort of conversation with. So if you say, hey, I want to get together, I want to be respectful of your time, and I just want to bring a little bit of value and give you some strategies to help you grow your business, like it takes a certain kind of jackass to turn you down at that point, right? So don't be like too scared of it. Like just jump into it. The last piece of advice that I would give all of you is if you're calling an agent that you've never done business with, but you want to do business with, find something, a person, and this is just my style, okay? We all have different styles. Find somebody in common, right? I'm not good at making cold calls. I actually suck at it. But the reality is that in the business that we have to make them. So I try to cheat anytime that I can, right? For example, if I'm sitting in an MSA, hey, Aaron, man, so nice to meet you. Excited about 2024. Hey, Frank over at the broker at Home Pro said that we absolutely had to connect and that I needed to get to know you because you're a great individual and somebody that I should be in a relationship with. I understand that you've been in the business for 20 years and you probably already have a relationship. I value relationships. I'm not trying to substitute it. I just want to bring value, right? And help you grow your business in 2024. Can we get together sometime next Wednesday to go over? Like that's if you're not in an AA, again, find an agent that it can introduce you to. If there is a common person, that person you're cold calling doesn't want to be embarrassed with the person that connected you guys. Does that make sense? Mark, do you
100%.
agree with that strategy at all? That's how I did it when I originated. I just looked for somebody that we both knew. And by the way, I called that person and say, hey, can you either introduce me to Ricky Bobby, or can I tell Ricky Bobby that we should absolutely get to know each other?
Yeah, I mean, we teach it that way, and when we go through the cold calling stuff, 100%, always trying to find common ground, and we've had tremendous success, I think, in my individual coaching with some people on reaching out to the realtors we already know and asking for, hey, hey, you compliment your realtor and you're like, hey, you and I, we have a vibe, we really get along. Who else do you know that like I might vibe with? Like, who's like us? you know, and then all of a sudden they want to rub that in. We've had a lot of success with that.
And know that you're bringing value to this conversation. You get familiar with the blueprint, and if somebody says no, they say no. You move on to the next one, right? But if I were you guys and gals for the next 30 days, how much does one of these meetings take? How long does it take to do that? I haven't done one for.
It really
Are you
depends.
asking how long a
An
blueprint
hour,
meeting
an
is?
hour.
It
An hour.
depends. They can be 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how much, time the realtor wants to spend. I've done one, and the shortest one I've done is about 25 to 30 minutes because, we were just slammed. Both of us just had a lot going on and had meetings. So yeah.
We're out of time, so I want to just wrap up real quick. Hey, go ahead.
I was going to say, team, this is cheating. You have something that nobody else has. This would be my goal if I were originating in 2024. I got to eat breakfast, lunch, and have a coffee in the afternoon. I have a choice. Either I do that by myself or I do that with a friend that I want to do business with. For the next 30 days, have breakfast, lunch, and coffee with a real estate agent where you talk about this. That is the surest way to gain. And by the way, that's, 20 meetings, 30 meetings, 7 of them go your way and they send you a deal every other month, just 7, right? That's an extra, 30 transactions a year, just from this quarter alone.
Guys, I got to wrap up. I'd hate going over. I'm just going to wrap it up here. I appreciate everybody going. Will, I will say just real quick to iterate, I did feel like you sold a little over past the point of close. You had me and you kept trying to convince me. That just makes my alarm bells go off. And also, here's what I would do for this. I would ask for 30 minutes and block an hour for every one of these conversations, meaning that you commit to 30 minutes. If it's not going well, you can get out of there in 30 minutes. If it's going well, you have that extra time built into your calendar. So don't give yourself 30 minutes and have a hard out. Schedule 30 minutes, build an hour into your schedule and set those things up. But I thought you did a nice job. And I do think your vibe is very good and authentic to you. And I think you'll attract the people that want to do business with you. So nice job there. I appreciate everybody. Please, guys, keep rating the trainings. I know it's a new format. Rate the trainings, give your feedback. You don't have to be nice. I don't need hundreds for no reason. If you thought it was great, great. If you thought it was bad, tell me. I'm trying to make it better. Starting next week for the next 4 trainings. Do not miss these. We're going to dive into each part of the blueprint so that you guys can absolutely crush these meetings. I'm not going to throw my pen then. And happy selling, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you guys next week.